Hello everyone. Very good morning and good evening. Let's start the session. Okay, guys. So last session what we have done. So we saw that how to work with a AWS, right? In that, so when you have a file in our AWS location, so how to upload that file into our Snowflake table. We saw that. For that, what are the steps we have done? First, we created integration object, right? So what are the things we have done? First thing is integration object. That is the first step when you have to plan. So once integration object is created, we will call it as a storage integration object, right? To get the storage integration object, what are the things we required? You need to explain these steps in, so when you are explaining in interviews. So this storage integration object, what you required if you wanted to create, we need to know location of the file in AWS, right? That is AWS path. And then what we required after that, we required AWS ARN details for role. AWS ARN role details we required. Who will provide these details? Our AWS team will provide ARN details and then AWS location details. Once you get these two things right, then we can able to create a storage integration object. Once you created storage integration object, so what is the next step? The next step is, so we need to describe this integration object name, this integration. When you describe integration, what are the things we will get? We will get AWS user ARN, user user ARN details. This is what we required, and we will get external ID, external ID, right? And these are the two details what we required. One is AWS user ARN details, another one is a external ID. Once you get these details, what is the next step? We are going to ask AWS team to update policy. Update policy. This is security policies, right? AWS policies they will update. Once they updated, this is done by who will done this? AWS security team. Security team, they are going to implement it. Once this is done, then we can create a file format, then you can create stage, then you can implement copy command, right? So copy command. So we can able to load the data from stage to this particular table. Before that, the table should be created. These are all the steps what we have implemented, right? So what we have done in the last session, when you done this, we have uploaded the comma delimited file, right? Now the same approach. So already if we have created integration object, one integration object for a specific folder, if you wanted to use the same integration object, is it possible to implement it or not? We will see that. And at the same time, we are going to, so previously we processed comma delimited file. In that particular folder, in that particular location, if you have pipe delimited file or some other delimited file, then how to implement it? So we'll see that implementation here. So let's connect it to, so AWS console, connected to AWS console here. So I will use root user, then a password, and this is the path, and then this is IAM. So if you observe AWS, see this, This is the bucket. All right. If you click on the bucket, we have CSV folder. If you click on CSV folder, what you have? Only healthcare CSV folder is available, right? Healthcare. So health CSV folder is available. Now our requirement is, so let's like upload the pipe delimited file here. I am uploading pipe delimited file. We come to pipe here, CSV data. This is a pipe delimited file. I selected one file here and then we have uploaded. The file uploaded successfully. Then you can able to see both the files here in this particular folder. Now, if you observe this particular file is comma delimited file, which we have already processed in the last session. See this one, this is a comma delimited file. Now, if you come to another file in CSV, this is a pipe delimiter file. If you observe this particular file here, this is, see this one, pipe delimited file. This is pipe delimited file here. Now, so what exactly we have to plan here? So this is fine. Now, when you created a integration object for this, so when you created integration, we created for complete file path, not for the folder. If you observe, let's come to this, show integrations. S3 int, S3 int, which we have created. When I describe integration and S3 int here, so this, it is a location here. What is the location here? See this, health CSV, health CSV. This is the location, right? So here, when you use this particular location, we have given only for that particular file here, not for the complete folder, not for the complete folder. What you need to do is, when you are creating storage integration object, we need to give it for complete CSV folder. Then only when we are accessing from the stage, you will have access to both the files. Otherwise, you will not have access to this particular the file, the whatever the file it is available in the CSV. So pipe delimited file, you cannot able to see that file. See this one here, we have a file, both the files is available. Now let's observe the stage which you have created in previous session. The stage which you have created is, let me cross check this. What is the stage we have created? Just a minute. So here, stage name what we have given. This is the stage name what we have given. EX stage. This is the stage, right? Which we have created in previous session. So if you observe it here, list at the rate stage name. See this? This is the external stage. Which file we have access? Only we have access to health CSV, right? So why we don't have, why we are not seeing another pipe file which we have uploaded here? Because in integration when you created, we didn't given complete folder access, we given access to only this particular health CSV till complete thing, right? So what you need to do, when you are creating a integration object, we need to give the allowed location to up to CSV. Then whatever the files is available, both the files will be accessed by that particular stage, right? But if you wanted to process only one file, then we need to specifically create a file for separate stage for pipe delimited separate stage, comma delimited separate stage. Otherwise, what will happen? both the files will be available in a stage. Then when you wanted to copy the data from the stage, it will get confused based on the table structure, which file has to pick into which table, right? That is very difficult. So that's why what we need to do, we need to create a storage integration for the complete folder. Later, if you want to process comma delimited file, separate stage, pipe delimited file, separate stage, so that the problem will be resolved here. So now what we will do is, now we will create storage integration object here first. Before that, let's create a table structure based on the file which we have uploaded here in the AWS S3 pipe delimited file. This is the file which we have uploaded. The table which we are creating is healthcare pipe, and then create a table. Now the table structure is created. Healthcare pipe table structure is available here. Now this particular table structure is available. What is the first step we need to follow? We need to create integration object. Let's come here to create integration object. So we are going to follow these steps. For that, what we required location details and then ARN details, right? So what is the location here? Come here. This is complete CSV location we are going to pick. So CSV, copy S3 URI. This is the location. This is the location which we wanted to process. This is the location details. So this one till CSV we have given. Then whatever the thing is available in a CSV folder, you can able to access. For this integration object, it contains the permission to CSV folder. And then what about the ARN details? ARN details we are going to pick it from AM. If you click on role, here you are going to get ARN details. See this one, this is the ARN details, unique details for the role. Now we will use, this is the role details, ARN details. Okay. Now let's create a integration object. When you create integration object, what will happen? We are going to describe the integration object, and we are going to get external ID and user ARN. When you created previously, also we have got external ID and then user ARN, right? Remember one thing here, whenever you are creating, whenever you are creating or replacing the storage integration object with the same name, external ID will change. Your external ID will be unique. Every time it will be unique. If I recreate it again, so again external ID will be changed. So every time what you need to do is, when you are creating a new external, a new integration object, you need to update the external ID in a policies. Then only it will accept. Now we created integration object. Let's describe integration object. Describe integration, integration object name. If you observe, what we will get? We will get user ARN and then external ID. User ARN will be same because the same user. So our user is Snowflake 8 only, right? So this is the same user which we are working with. So user ARN will not change. Your external ID will change. This is the user ARN. So this is the user ARN. See this one. So this is the hyphen S. Let me copy it here. We will verify user ARN and then external ID. Let's copy the external ID also. This is the external ID. Now let's compare with the previous user ARN external ID which we have given already here. See this is the external ID and user ARN. Where we need to update these details, we will ask them, AWS team, to update the details in policies. Now let's come here and then see this one, trusted relationship. Click on that. You will have, see this, what is the previous user ARN? User ARN 16D, so 30,000 -s. Now also same thing. right? User ARN didn't change because the user is same. And coming to this one, external ID. Observe the external ID, last 4 digits, right? This is different. And then external ID which we have received is different, right? It means every time you are creating a integration object, new external ID will be generated. User will be same. User ARN will be the same. New external ID will be generated. If you wanted to create the external ID, so for different roles, you have to be maintained separately. Separate roles should be maintained for separate file process that we will discuss when we are working with this Snowpipe implementation. Continuous ingestion process, we will discuss that. What is the purpose? And then why we need to maintain separate roles in AWS also. Now here, okay. So here this particular thing, external ID, user ARN details. We received this. Where we need to update? Let's user ARN same, no need to update. External ID, copy this. Come here, we need to update it here. For that, edit policies. Here we need to update. We need to update till here. We have given and then update policies. Now the trusted relationship policies has been updated, right? Once it is updated, then you will get access, right? Then we will get access to the particular stage. Let's create a stage here. And when you are creating a stage, for example, so we have created new integration object now, right? Whatever the stage we have created previously, is it going to work or not? Let's observe. See this one. See this, what it is telling. This previous stage we have created in the last session, but this is not working because integration object external ID has been changed for that particular stage, right? Integration object external ID has been changed. This is a new integration object which you have created. So what we need to do, we need to create a new stage here. New stage, let's create new stage with this integration object details. Before that, let's create a file format. So this is a pipe delimited file. So what we will do is we will create pipe delimited format. So create file format and then CSV format and then pipe delimited skip header equal to 1. So this is file format we created. Then we need to create stage, right? Observe this. When you are creating a stage, so what are the changes we are doing here? So what we have done previously, when you created a stage, we have given external stage and then specifically we mentioned the file path, right? Especially file path. So instead of that, if I use CSV, see this, what is the problem with that? We will understand now. We will recreate it again for our understanding purpose. We will create temporarily. And what is the stage name we are creating? CSV stage for all. Just I have given for all the CSV files. Just to understand, for all the CSV files, we are creating like this. We are creating a stage for CSV for all the files with this integration object, with this particular integration object. Now, when I run this, observe, you run this, what will happen now? See this one. Its stage is created. If I use list at the rate stage name, see this one. What is this now? You have access to both the files now, comma delimited file and pipe delimited file. Both the files you have access. Now, if you use a copy command to that specific table, if the both the table structures is different, then when you are using this particular file format, this is a pipe delimited file format, this is a CSV, so there is a conflict. right? So because both the files are not with the same structure, right? Get it right? So what you need to do when you are creating a stages, right? So if you have in one folder, if you have a different files like CSV, comma delimited file, pipe delimited file, or tab delimited file, whatever it may be, you need to create separate stage for different file formats. What we will do is, now observe, what we are going to do is, we are going to create separate file format for CSV stage. This is pipe delimited. What we are doing, we are creating a separate stage, and for the pipe delimited file, what we will give is specifically pipe delimited file name I have given. See this one. And integration object, same integration object we have to use, file format, CSV format, and then here, this is, we can understand this. So this particular pipe delimited file to process only this specific file only. When you are creating a stage, we can differentiate. We can differentiate. Now let's observe this. When you are creating a stage with the specific file extension, now if we use list at the rate, this is the stage, right? See this one. Now what you observe, we have only specific pipe delimited file here, only specific pipe delimited file. Okay, now let's observe. So one second. We have a file available. We created a stage. Then what is the next step? Copy into the table from the stage area. So for that, what we are going to do is copy into table from stage. Copy into table. This is a table name which we have created. Table name is pipe. Copy into table. What is the stage we have? This is the stage. This is the stage. And then if you require on error, continue. Now observe this one. What will happen? The file, the pipe delimited file, it will pick and then it will load it to this particular table, pipe delimited table. Now let's run this one. See this. So 75 rows available, 75 it has been loaded, right? Now let's check the data here. You can able to see 5. You can able to see the complete data, right? So this particular table has been loaded. So what is the difference here? Approach is same. What we have done, we created a table structure, we created a integration object, we created a file format, pipe delimited file format, we created a stage, and then after that we have like uploaded the data from like a stage to the table. But only the difference is when you are dealing with a different file format, so we need to create separate stage for the file formats, and we need to be like a taken care of the allowed location you can give. Now here we have given only for CSV, right? We created one integration object for CSV folder. Now for example, if you observe here, we have other folders also like JSON folder, Parquet folder also. If you wanted to deal with this JSON folder and Parquet folder, how to deal with it? But here again you need to create separate integration for the JSON, separate integration for a Parquet. That is one option. Another option is within same integration object, you can add all the other locations also here, all the other locations in the, so coming classes we will see that how to add all the other locations also with same integration object. So what will happen is, no need to every time when you created an integration object, no need to update policies every time here. No need to update the policies every time. It is not required. Once you created storage integration object, it is nothing but a communication between our Snowflake and then AWS. Once it is created, for all the available folders which you wanted to process from AWS to Snowflake, once it is created, no need to like update each and every time. Here just for the practice purpose we have done, but what will happen is when you are working in projects, we will create one time integration object, one time policies will be updated. What we will do is we'll update the complete information. So in the all the other locations, that is process. Okay, so now we have deal with, so how to work with a this pipe delimited file. The same way we have other file formats also. Just 1 second guys, uh, give me 1 second. Sorry guys. Okay, what we will see is we will see the same process how to deal with semi-structured files. So semi-structured files are like JSON and Parquet files are semi-structured files. In Snowflake, it will not allow unstructured format. That is not possible in Snowflake. Only structured and semi-structured files only we can able to process. When it is coming to semi-structured files, right? We will have kind of JSON file and then Parquet file formats. So let's discuss how this like files looks like, and then so how to read these files. So based on that, we will see that how to work with this JSON files and then Parquet files in the so next session. The process and approach will be the same, but there is a small difference here. 1 second. If you observe, let's say we'll show you the structure how it looks like. If you observe the semi-structured path, it will be like this. What will happen is it will have column and metadata, column and then their metadata, column and then meta. It means each and every column. For example, if you have 10 columns, let me show you example here. Okay, see this one. So here we have columns like party ID, product, name, category, and complete, manufactured on, right? So these are the details. These are the column details. Generally, how the data looks like, you will have a columns and then under that we will have a rows, right? But when you observe the structure of JSON, it is a nested format. It is nested format. If you observe here, column 1, row 1, column 2, row 1, column 3, row 1, column 4, row 1, column 5, row 1, column 3, row 1. For example, see this each and every, how many rows we have. So those many times it will be nested here. For example, let me show you how it looks like. For example, we have ID, comma, name, comma, salary. Let's take only 3 columns for the better understanding. We have like ID1 and then name ABC and then salary 1000. ID2 and then name BCD and then salary 2000. And then 3 and then so we have 3000. This is your data. This is our normal table structure. Normal table structure. If you wanted to see this in a nested form, how it looks like is, if you come to this, let's say it will be like flower basis. You will have ID and 1. Then we will have name and then ABC. Then again, you will have what you have, salary. You will have 1000, right? So, and again, what it will do is, it will see this one after this. Again, it will going to distribute the data like this. Just the example we are taking here and then close. Again, what it will do again. So what you have, again, we have ID. So what is the second row? 2. And then again, what you have, name. Again, it will be, what is the data? BCD. Next, this one will be salary and then 2000. And then this one is completed. Next again, what will happen? This one again, it will be ID, column, row 3, and then column 2, and then row 3, and then again column 3, row. See this one. What happened here? This is a structured form, right? This is structured form. Oh, just sorry, just a minute. when you come to this, see this one, we have ID. So 1, column 1, the first row, it is here. It is in a nested form. Again, second row. So here, this is the second row. Again, third row, it has distributed the data in a nested form, right? It will look like this. It is going to be look like this. This is your nested form implementation. Whatever the data it is available here, the particular data, if you see this we will call it as a semi-structured data. Semi-structured data. Now, when you observe, this is a semi-structured data. We have different formats like JSON and Parquet. This is JSON data, how it looks like. When you see this, you can able to read something, right? We can understand something. Okay, this is ID, this is a data, this is name, this is a data, this is salary, this is data, but it's a nested form. Okay, we can understand something, we can able to read it. This is JSON format. When it is coming to Parquet, right? In Parquet, it is not human readable. It is not human readable. If you try to observe this is JSON data. You can able to read this one JSON data file. If you try to open, you can able to read it. Let me try to see this. So at least you can able to understand something. So what it is available here, what is the data you can able to read, you can able to read, right? So this related to ID, and then so this is, so again see this one, the ID column. So like this we can able to understand something. So what is the available here? But when it is coming to, for example, Parquet file, let's come to the Parquet file. Way it looks like, if you observe, this is the Parquet data. Parquet files cannot be human readable. See this one, we don't understand anything here by seeing this, right? It is not at all a so proper format. This is not human readable format. Parquet file cannot be readable. So this is more secured. And these both the files like Parquet and this one, both are compressed. If you observe the difference in between these files, so what is the difference between these two, we can able to understand something. Let me open that. Okay, see this one. So it is when it is coming to columnar. So this is, so CSV is a columnar, no. So JSON is not a columnar. These are both are a semi-structured. These are a JSON is a semi-structured. This is a structured. And when it is coming to Parquet, Parquet is going to store the data in the form of columnar storage. It's a columnar value. And when it is coming to compressible, all are compressible. When it is coming to compressible, so all these are compressible only. This one is like compressible, CSV is compressible, and then JSON is compressible, Parquet is compressible. And especially when it is coming to splittable, we can split the CSV files, we can JSON also we can split, and then Parquet also we can able to split. When it is coming to human readable, this is the biggest difference here. See this one, Parquet file we cannot read. Parquet file we cannot read, but JSON files, yes, we can read. And then CSV file, we can able to read the file. And when it is coming to nestable, CSV is not a nestable format, right? This is a structured format. Coming to JSON, nestable, and then Parquet also internally it will be nestable. Complex, these two are JSON and Parquet complex data structure. Complex data structure. When it is coming to
Hey, hi, Dinesh. What is nestable?
this is nothing but what you have seen here. This is nestable. This structure. Okay. This one. This is a normal data structure. This is nested form, right? That is nestable format, expanding. Okay. So now let's come to this one. So and so so these are the, so when it is coming to, so structure, when we are creating CSV, we are going to create manually. This will be generated from some other third-party tools like a JSON, and then it can be generated automatically. And then the data types also, it will be like automatically it can be generated automatically. It can be generated from some like a different the third-party tools. It can be so generated. So that is a so difference of the different file formats. Now here
Dinesh,
also, mm,
hey, Dinesh,
yes, yes.
what kind of systems generate these Parquet files?
Parquet files, sometimes if you like observe third-party tools, some this one, mm, what we will call that, not Kubernetes. For example, in FTP also, when you are some of the files, when you are converting the data, if the table structure, if you wanted to convert, if you are exporting, here what you will have, the when you are exporting, you will have an option called CSV and then tab delimiter, right? The same way, the different some other third-party tools. So from the like some other Java application or the .NET applications, if they want their data to be like exported, they will export the data in the form of like JSON or Parquet. That option will be there. The different any systems, yeah.
JSON we understand, mostly MongoDB or other
Yep,
databases
yep.
they export the files in the JSON structures.
Mhm.
Parquet file, in your like, have you ever worked with or have you ever seen with this
All
tool?
Hadoop-based applications actually can be exported into Parquet, and BQ also. BQ default it is Parquet.
BQ. Okay.
BQ. Yep.
Thank you.
BQ
Thank you.
internally it stores the data as a Parquet file system
Okay.
See, I have
So
seen
it's a
these
compressed
with Snappy
Parquet files in
compressed.
Databricks also.
Databricks. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All Hadoop-based
Yeah,
applications,
Hadoop
everything
systems.
has.
Right.
So basically, regular data only converted into Parquet files, or some kind of images or video files will be converted into Parquet files.
As far as I know, all the data oriented things
Every
only.
data, it can be
Every
structured
data.
and
Okay.
unstructured. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
See,
Good.
basically this, if you go to Google and search, the Parquet format was invented by Google and to store the huge files in compressed way.
Okay. Good.
Yes,
So
that's what. BQ
yeah.
internally it stores as a Parquet with a Snappy compression by default.
Good. Yeah. Thank you, guys. And if you see, so this is a AWS, right? If you try to like understand the data here, query with S3 select, this is the Parquet file, which it is our, sorry, this is a JSON file. If you observe JSON folder, I kept some JSON file. If you wanted to see that, query with S3, and then if you try to run the query, this one output document I have to give here. Then if I run, you can able to see this one, how the data looks like. You can able to see the sample data here. And one thing, when you are like dealing with this here, column names, how it looks like, this is case sensitive when you are converting into our structure format. When you are loading that, we will see that. I will explain in the next session. We will see that how to deal with this. So same exactly how it looks like here, same way we have to use the column names when you are converting into our target, the table structure. This is how this JSON looks like. Now if you come to the Parquet, if you try to read Parquet files here, this is a Parquet data which I have uploaded. If I try to read any one of the Parquet file, see this, if I try to read that, it will, what it is telling, output serialization is required. So this will not allow you to read directly. You need to convert that Parquet file into JSON or CSV. Yeah, JSON or CSV, any one format you need to convert, then only you can able to read. If you wanted to read that in a JSON format, click on the JSON and then read. This is a JSON. That data it's converted here within the AWS S3, and then it is showing the data how it looks like. If you wanted to see that in a CSV format, click on CSV, comma, to cross check the data, how it looks like, you can able to see the data, right? So what here we cannot able to read the so Parquet files directly. We have to convert into JSON or CSV, then only we can able to read that. So how to process these files, like how to like if you wanted to process these files into our Snowflake, so how to deal with that, we will see in the next session, guys. Okay, so any questions here? Yeah, so Swati, you said that key value pairs.
One question.
Yes, Rakesh.
See, you will given the list of like you open the notepad na, and where the steps were given.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. we will get this in the means the
Hmm.
folder that is placed on the Google Drive.
Yes, we have that one. See this, everything I have placed it here, right? If you can able to see this AWS steps here, what you need to be performed.
Mm.
Yeah, everything is available. And then at the same time, I will upload this particular document also. So for
Okay.
the reference purpose. Okay.
Okay, fine,
And take
fine.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, Dinesh.
Yeah.
With the permissions and everything, we say if any, let's say, since I've worked in credit bureau, sometimes
Okay.
in my previous project, we had a couple production environments where
Okay.
sometimes our security won't allow us to connect with any other accounts like databases or anything within the AWS. And
Okay.
sometimes you don't have I mean net servers like
I understand. So like a
it, it
policies,
it cannot route to internet.
another
So
internet that will be private networks you are talking about.
private network, correct. So in that
Mm.
case, basically account level or within the VPC level securities will be applied. So how come we connect to Snowflake in that case? So we have to open up the connections to go the network to go out of the account as well, right?
Out of the account, yes, that integrations
I mean,
should
basically everything is we will create actually the
be.
private endpoints for every service like S3, like any other services, EMR service, everything we actually create internal private things. So in that case, we have to
Yes,
definitely open up the
yes, we have here also
network to go out
the
of the.
private listings is there. Okay, so due to this managing data listing and then like so how to implement it, and then private networks also we have possible that we can able to process it. That is possible. And then so for this to manage this specifically, we have another like addition like a virtual private Snowflake, right? Virtual private one. So that will be a separate what you will call that route will be there.
Okay. So
Separate network
between
will
these two,
be maintained. Yeah, it will be maintained.
and also we have to implement like VPC peering probably. Peering.
Yes.
Okay.
See this one.
Points for internal stages. Okay. Yeah.
Private link.
AWS private link.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
will be
there
maintained.
it comes like VPC endpoints. Yeah.
Exactly.
Here we have to explicitly create a VPC endpoints for this Snowflake. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because we see some issues even if we install any packages or if it routes to go to internet, they have blocked everything. Right?
Correct.
We will not
Exactly.
have.
We will not have permissions.
Correct.
Only the specific locations and then specific countries only. So it will work.
Yeah, we won't have NAT servers set up in that VPC.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you. But everything, I mean, these things will usually CCOE teams will take care of it, right?
Yes, we no need
Network
to
teams
worry
will take
about that. Yeah. So when the project, like when it is like configuring, right? So when we are starting up the project, like your network team and then like security, like
security teams.
enterprise security team, they are going to take care of these things.
Yeah. So basically, from our side, we have to provide these IDs,
Exactly.
like
Snowflake
object
account
ID.
details and yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, can you tell what are your means? What is the roles and responsibilities of a architect, Snowflake architect? Like, means.
Okay, Rakesh. So it's like, so most of the time, right? So whether like if you wanted to integrate to some other third parties, so which one will be the feasible? So for example, we have options called like AWS and then Azure and then GCP. And then what are the integrations need to be done? So how to manage the things, and so how to like integrate with some other party tools, and if it is required any ETL or any reporting tools, then which one will be the suitable for the Snowflake, and then what are the, is there any hot blocks is there, roadblocks is there, and these kind of implementations. And at the same time, so how to like manage the data, like archival data will be there, like a reporting layer data will be there. And then did you need to do any transformations? So within the business logics, these kind of the business, and then at the same time, the how to like drive that particular things within the Snowflake. What all the futures need to be utilized? So these things we have to decide. So basically, like the pipeline we need to build. So what exactly from inbound to outbound? So how to drive that particular business? In between, what all the steps we need to perform? The high level design thing need to be taken care by architect. Sometimes in some organizations, if it is enterprise architect, then definitely it will be the huge responsibilities. Like so, as someone discussed, right? Like these private networks, and then like a permissions, getting the permissions, and deciding the editions, which edition you have to use, and all these things also it will be there.
One more thing, Dinesh, like
Mm,
I was discussing with my friend, they were like
mm.
doing a POC for this Snowflake, and later down the line, what he was telling that the POC was turned down, means the project went to in Azure because
Oh,
of
okay.
some security issues. So they were,
Security issues.
so I was not able to really understand what more security does Azure provide than Snowflakes, because both
Almost,
of
almost it will be the same. Like, see, if you go to business critical, right?
Hmm.
Almost all the same securities what Azure is providing, the same thing it will be also provided. So because it's also available in a cloud platform itself, right?
Right. That is
Then
what
so
I
what
was
is the
thinking.
separate thing it is available?
Uh,
So maybe they will have some other like things related to, um, if already having, if they are having already like Azure licenses, and then the Azure they have already purchased, then they definitely they will prefer that Azure only, if already existing in the place. So maybe just check with him once, in which
okay.
security perspective, like it is not they moved it.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
we will came
I
to
will
know.
ask. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about higher authorities and the how much
That
huge
is
discounts they get it.
discounts, and then sales deals, and then so many factors will be involved.
Yeah, this is anywhere. It's not a single
Yes,
company.
yes,
It's anywhere. Even
yeah,
in Walmart, I mean, I see
yeah.
quickly they
Every
have changed to Azure, from Azure to GCP
oh, is it? Uh-huh.
very quickly. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, because the new CTO has come. Like
Okay.
he worked.
They may have some
He
deals
he
with
was
them.
from, yeah, he was from Microsoft only. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, later another I think again he has been moved to another thing,
Okay,
and
another
new CTO
organization.
has come.
Mhm.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Okay,
they switched to GCP again.
that is very bad.
Yeah, most of the companies, if like if they have like other products from Microsoft, definitely
Mhm.
they'll get huge benefits, right?
Ah, yes, that is true. Mm.
Yeah, also upfront fees is who takes the upfront fees is like a lot cheaper.
Mm.
Companies go to obviously they go to that cloud.
Yep, yeah, yeah. Okay, guys. Good. See you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all.